Welcome to Live Stories, a podcast that holds space for inspirational interactions that are real about navigating the challenging journey of separation and divorce. Expect laughter and some tears. It's all welcome because Lived Stories is meant to be a safe space. Welcome to Lived Stories. Thank y'all so much for all of the love and support, the comments and the feedback. It's really been overwhelming. I am so appreciative for you all. I love y'all so much. Thank you for everybody who's called and texted and stop me when they see me to share that they really enjoy what they're hearing. It's really just been crazy at the level of receptivity to this conversation. And I'm kind of realizing that there's a there here. So as I continue to do this podcast, please share recommendations on subjects you'd like to hear or women's stories you'd like me to learn about that would inspire this community. Send them all my way. Email me, slide in my DMs. So when I was playing this mental tennis match of enduring the rockiness of marriage or ending it, there was a series of thoughts and doubts that left me feeling hopeless. What if there was nothing better? Who was going to help me with these kids? What am I going to do with this house? And the scariest of all was, what if I remained alone for the rest of my life? And this really left me feeling almost stuck. It kept me there for some time. I couldn't see past this vastness of unknowns, the emptiness that what ifs brought, the weariness I felt deep in my soul, and the deep despair knowing that if this continues, I would wilt away into nothingness. I know I am mad, dramatic, but these feelings, they remained. The truth of the matter is that I buried them deep and replaced them with the busyness of work and work travel. And since I had two littles, they became the focus. Right before I would close my eyes to go to sleep, the feeling would creep up, but I refused to acknowledge it. I was rescued by sleep. I remember I was always so tired and knew that the same routine would await me in the morning. It was this vicious, overwhelming, and lonely cycle that when I think about it now, it's remarkable how long I carried that weight. And it's no wonder that after a while, my chest felt like someone was stepping on it. The truth is, and I didn't have the language at the time to name this, I was ashamed. I was ashamed that if I left my marriage, it meant that I was a quitter or that I couldn't tough things out, that I didn't have what it would took to be this ideal wife, that I was nothing, that I would be nothing. And at that time, I'd never quit anything meaningful in my life. What's that song by Billy Ocean, when the going gets tough, the tough cue me get going? I guess you could blame that on the athlete in me. But I realized that the marriage had become my identity. And without this title, I didn't know who I was. And I didn't know if I ended the marriage, who I would become. I was also afraid of what it would mean leaving the marriage, afraid of what people would say or think. And by the way, people already think. There's nothing you could do about that. I was also afraid of dying alone. And it's this notion that I want to explore during our time today. There are those who enjoy being alone, and there are others who fear it. We as humans are really quick to assign meaning to an action and a word. And when someone doesn't know what a word means, they go to the dictionary. And so I went to two sources to see how they define the word alone. I went to dictionary.com, and the adjective meaning was separate or apart, isolated from others. Synonyms were unattended, unaccompanied, solitary, and there's that word, single. Another definition, to the exclusion of all others or all else. Merriam-Webster defined it as separated from others or isolated. So I know many who prefer being separated and being in solitude, and they find peace and safety. And others who are like, I'm good. They want nothing to do with it. And when talking to my therapist about being alone and loneliness, she turned me to a chapter in Bell Hook's book called All About Love, New Visions. And she has been using this book to really help me unlearn some of my own associations with the definition of love and love itself. If you aren't familiar with this book, All About Love, it really looks at love and what it means today. The author challenges old ideas about love and pushes for a more caring and respectable approach. She uses personal stories and cultural examples to help readers think differently about how they give and receive and even practice love in their lives. About chapter 8 of the book, it really now talks about community and loving communion, and explores the essential role of community in fostering love. The author, she emphasizes that loving relationship extend beyond romantic partnerships to include friends, family, and broader social networks, and which really collectively create a nurturing environment. So as I was reading the book and reading this chapter, there are a few things that struck me in the pages. Bell argues that there's a distinction between loneliness and solitude. She argues that with loneliness is painful. It's a painful experience. It's a feeling of being disconnected from others. Now, solitude can be a positive and necessary state of being. That solitude allows for self-reflection and personal growth. It enables individuals to reconnect with their inner selves and ultimately with others more authentically. The author also underscores that embracing solitude can enhance one's ability to engage in a loving relationship within a community. And I want to read you all an excerpt because I think it's really, really poignant. So I read, the difficult road is the road of conversion, the conversion from loneliness into solitude. Instead of running away from our loneliness and trying to forget or deny it, we have to protect it and turn it into fruitful solitude. Loneliness is painful. Solitude is peaceful. Loneliness makes us cling to others in desperation. Solitude allows us to respect others in their uniqueness and create community. She also talks about learning how to sit in stillness and quietude can be the first step towards knowing comfort in aloneness. So for me reading this, I'm like, where was this book when I was playing the mental tennis match in my stuck season? But I resonate so much with some of the phrases, especially the one that talks about loneliness being painful, because who wants or likes being in pain? This is like why I believe people stay in marriage, or this is I know I stayed in my marriage because I didn't want to feel the pain of aloneness. I didn't want to feel the anxiety of separation and what it would mean. And then I realized I'd be in pain if I stayed or if I left. It was a matter of which would hurt more. And for me, staying was unbearable. And while leaving hurt at the same time, it was liberating. It took me years to accept and transform my thinking that going at it alone was not a sign of weakness or something to be ashamed of. The seeking community and finding a place of belonging was the very thing that I needed to rebuild, to seek out my own identity and to know that I would be okay in this process. Now, don't get me wrong. I still get down times. There are times when I feel fearful that being alone may actually be what the future holds for me. Now, this time around though, I call it out. I've learned to call it out. I've learned to put a name to it. I don't bury it. I sit with it. I acknowledge that it's okay, that I'm not some machine, that I'm human. I'm practicing being gentle and kind with myself. And in this practice, I take solace in sitting still and being quiet while I'm looking outside and processing these very complex feelings and naming them for what they are. And in my own reflection, I realize that I would have it no other way, that as I continue a life in this life of solitude, the solitude is indeed peaceful, and that I wouldn't trade this peace for anything. So for you who may be playing mental tennis or maybe in the midst of a lonely pity party or don't know what to do, please know that this is all a part of the process. Please be patient and kind with yourself. I'll read you one of my favorite quotes from a book by Cheryl Strayed called Brave Enough, that it really encourages me on sometimes when I'm actually down. And it says in the quote, "You let time pass. That's the cure. You survive the days. You float like a rabid ghost through the weeks." Wow. "You cry and wallow and lament and scratch your way back through the months. And then one day you find yourself alone on a bench in the sun, and you close your eyes and lean your head back, and you realize you're okay." What an amazing, amazing reminder. So I want to encourage you to embrace the hurt now, but know that it will get better. It has to. I mean, that's how it works. Life is a cycle, right? So I want to encourage you to have hope that you're not alone and that you are going to be okay. Ever and always live. Thank you for listening. We want to express our heartfelt gratitude to our incredible community. Your strength and resilience shine brightly, and together we're creating a safe space filled with solace, guidance, and inspiration. If you resonated with today's episode, share with anyone who might find comfort and support this conversation. Let's spread warmth and encouragement and hope. Join the Lived community on social channels. It's Lived Stories on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok, where you can connect with like-minded women, share your story, and access even more trusted resources. Until next time, take care and remember, you're not alone in this journey. You are stronger than you think, and you can do hard things.